Network, not work. Yeah. A while back, I had a two-part series, link in the prescription, of getting a new um, access point running for the IoT devices. And it's got dual antennas on it and all kinds of stuff, and it just gave me all kinds of hell to set up. It was awful, and somehow at the 11th hour, I made it work. It works, but as we had discovered in that series, the throughput on that was not great. Now, for IoT devices, that's not really a problem because how much data are we really pushing through there? We're telling a device to turn on or off or change its color or brightness or anything stupid like that. There's no cameras or anything like that on it that actually is going to require decent throughput. But I found that in particular, and especially, those lights that I put around the rhododendron outside, the Lumery lights, the Wi-Fi reception on that thing just sucks. In general, the fence lights have been pretty good. They've been working, but occasionally, maybe not so much. Pretty rare on that. They generally work. But whenever I go into the app, it tells me that the Wi-Fi signal is weak. Now, I think that's just going to continue. It's just because the shitty antennas in them and all that stuff. And if you remember that wireless access point, or what I'm using for an access point, is right behind me over here. How do you make, I got a question here, how do you make a sound louder? Turn the volume up. Well, that's great. What if there's no volume control? Nobody? No, that's not going to work. The answer is you get closer to it. To whatever is making the sound, you get closer to it, and that makes it louder. Of course, there's limitations in that. If it's so quiet that you have it right up to your ear and you can barely hear it, and there ain't no volume, that's the best you can do. Well, like I said, I have options as far as how to do this, but of course, I want to try to do things the right way. The right way is, of course, not spending any money. That's the wrong way. I could spend about $100 and get a new long-range access point, run an Ethernet out to the screen room, another one, and mount that to one of the support poles for the roof, and that would serve the backyard really well. But when you're cheap like I am, how do you do it at no cost? Well, use the equipment you have. Now, one thing I have right here is this little square thing. Yeah, it's been sitting there, that's right. This still works, and this worked great in the house, but I decided to change it out for this other thing with the antennas on it because supposedly that's going to help make better, more Wi-Fi, longer, outer, farther, or something. But this worked fine in the house. It's got the Etherweb port on it. We got the cable here. We got everything else we need. So I'm thinking I'll put this back in service, take this guy, put that in the screen room, and run an Ethernet cable to it, and see if that does the trick. Will it? I don't know. We're going to find out together. Still need to run an Ethernet cable out there. There's no two ways about that. And then there are a total of 4 or 5 devices out there that could be on a new SSID called backyard_ext for extension. I think that would probably do the trick if the signal will reach. Will it still say it's weak? Yeah. Is it going to be closer? 8, 10 feet closer? No, more than that. 12 feet. 11 and a half. Yeah, about 11 and a half sounds about right. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to find out together. So today, we're going to test that out. I'm just going to unplug it from here, and we're going to move it out to the screen room and test it out there. I'm just going to rig it quick with the existing Ethernet cable to the computer there. I'll just put a coupler and a wire on that. We'll plug it in out there and just get it hooked up and just see what we're looking at as far as that goes. Now, unfortunately, once again, we're going to get out the goddamn phone and we're going to test throughput with speed tests and all that. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and get a baseline on that right now and see what it reads. So we'll go into the Wi-Fi, and there we go. Okay, just give that a couple of seconds to get everything good, right? Now, Wi-Fi plug extension toward the bottom is what we're looking for. It may not work. In the heyday of this thing, things were not connecting, and this phone was one of them. So let's try it and see. I'll put in the password here. Checking the quality of your interwebs connection. Connected. Excellent. So that worked. Let's go to speed test. Where is that? Here it is. And what were we getting in the last video? 20 something? I don't know. Let's see what we get. Oh, incidentally, things have changed around here. Oh yeah, that's looking great. 5. That's 4. 4 is even better. We're right next to the damn thing. I'm 4 feet away from it. So that's pretty damn abysmal. And oddly, look at that upload speed, actually. If you recall, in the previous video, I was getting only 5 upload speed, and that's all I got. But there's been some changes, and I now have 20 up. Yeah, we're doing a bit better now. We'll call it, 13, 14? 13 or 14. We'll call it 13 or 14 here, and then the upload is what it is. But hey, I gotta tell you, even at that 20 megabits, which I'm not getting wirelessly, of course, at 20 megabits per second upload, everything happens 4 fucking times faster than it used to. So I am jazzed about that. That's going for another year. We'll see what happens after that. But anyway, now let me get an Ethernet cable and a coupler, and we'll go ahead and hook that thing up outside. Okay, we're all set here. Ethernet cable with a coupler. Just to make things easy, you know. Fortunately, the interwebs is right here. It's supposed to just come out. Kind of barely. And plug that in. Okay. Do my cable. I'm going to need a little slack. There, we got it. Here's the device. It's warm. I'm going to have to unplug that. Again, this is all temporary. Unplug that. And just won't make it, so maybe upside down. If I can get just a little more slack out of that. Yep, we got her. Crickety, but it's there. Waiting for lights to do things. That might looks good now. Yeah. So we'll leave that like that. Okay, let's try it on the phone and make sure that we just have plain old good connectivity right now. Okay, let's go into our Wi-Fi again. There it is. Connected. Excellent. Speed test. I am connected to the interwebs. Go. Should be just as abysmal before. What do we say? About 13, 14? Close enough. Yeah, it did that before too. Good. That's all good. That's all just perfectly fine. It's doing its upload bullshit. So we'll just kind of let that do its thing. And that should finish about now. We'll switch back over here. And of course we have perfect signal because we're right here. So now I'm walking out of the screen room over to where that stuff is. I'll get kind of as close as I can. It looks like we lost a bar already. That's about as close as I can make it. Oh, we actually gained one back. Okay, let's turn the Wi-Fi off and back on. That looks damn good. Get rid of those. Just for shits, we'll go back to speed test and run that again, see what we get farther away. Oh yeah, it's struggling. That's why it's a booster. This thing is, I don't know what the fuck with this thing. It's just terrible. All right, upload. Oof. Oof to me. But you saw how strong the signal was, so what gives? China! All right, that's about done now. So now we're going to go back to the home screen and into Smart Life. Okay, it says the spotlights are on. There, it updated. Now it doesn't. That's good. I'll turn them on. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, they came right on. Yes, indeed. I went into it by accident. That's okay. It's doing its thing. I wanted to try, now that I have good... We'll leave that there, and we'll try to do that. I wanted to try that. And the speed is just okay, so we'll just kind of leave that there. And they are still chooching, so now they're going in the opposite direction, so I like that. We'll go back. The patio lights, right, that is a dimmer. Turn it on. Oh yeah, of course, I mean that's right in the same room. So that worked. And off, we'll go back. And fence lights, where are you? Fence lights, on. Hell yeah, right on, man. Oh, fucking instant. Love that kind. Spotlights off, bingo. Oh, nice. So it's a little hard to see, but we'll go to the fence lights and play with that. Turn them on. Oh yeah. And it does say that the signal is weak. Go figure. Even though the phone still says one less than maximum bars. Okay, so that's good. change colors and do things. It's the red, white, and blue kind. Incidentally, this particular bulb, straight smack dab in the middle of the screen, China'd recently. I found that I can fix these, and I have an old set, but I tried taking the little circuit board out of that and transplanting it in here. But what happened was they used different LED suppliers, like whoever they get it cheapest from, for each time they make a new batch of them or whatever. So the color didn't match exact. So what I did was I took the bulb straight ahead there, where you can't see it behind the bush, and pulled that out of there and basically swapped them, and that worked. So that all is good. Let me see if I can come over here a little bit. There we go. They're hard to see during the day. I get that part. And what if we got a color, and we could just, you know, run this around. It's responsive, very responsive. Oh, hell yeah. And back to white, and make it warm to cool. There's cool and warm, so that's good. And the spotlights. Oh yeah. Is it freaking raining? I think it started to rain. How about that? And if I go in that, you know, it does different things. Yeah, it's doing... It does things. Right? That's all good. Alright. So we'll go back how it was. So that all works fantabulous now, regardless of the fact that it still says it's weak. And take a look. It's uploading on this abysmal connection, because we're still connected, but it's definitely working. It'll just be slow. That's okay. Not ideal, because it seems to have good coverage. While we're doing that, just for shits and grins, let's go back and get a site scan, so to speak, while we're at it. I don't know who the Matarices are, but that shows up. Let me walk around kind of directly in line. Oh, we got a lot more now. That's working. And we'll walk to the other end of the backyard. Oh, we lost a bar. Walking all the way to the back corner of the backyard. I was going to say garage. And yeah, it's there. In fact, it came back up. One. We'll come around to the part of the pool closest to the house. That's good. That's working. And now I'm kind of on the side, yeah. See, over here, we're kind of in the horrid area of the backyard, and I don't quite get that kind. But a couple steps back, give that a moment, it should chooch back up. Yeah, it did. All right, so pretty good. That definitely does the backyard well. And we'll put the patio lights on. Let me get into that. Yeah, I heard a click. Yep, indeed. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, they are definitely on. I just keep them dim. So that's definitely working. And one other thing, there is another smart plug right there that has been named pool light, because I have RGB lights in the pool now that you saw on the 4th of July series. Oh, indeed, there was a click. So that's on, and that's working. And of course, these are all grouped together. So if I go over here, I'll talk to the magic cylinder, I'll press the button so I don't have to edit this crap. Turn off the backyard.
Okay.
Things clicked and happened, and I can't see anything else on. Everything's shut. Turn on the backyard. Oh yeah, a bunch of clicks.
Okay.
Turn off the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all going. It all works. One more time. Turn on the backyard.
Okay.
Things light up in the app here. Definitely. Turn off the backyard.
Okay.
Now, trouble. That's the hole that I have. And I do not think an Etherweb's cable will fit through there. I do not think so. Why the cable going into the phone jack is black there, rubbed on something else, I don't have any idea. Basically, I just don't touch this shit and it just kind of sits here. Let me see if I could just get in here a little bit. Ooh, the insulation on that coax is just knackered. Not great. Is it leaching out onto the other cables? Not really. I don't know. So it's just kind of there. How the fuck I'm going to get another Ethernet cable out of here, I don't know. That'll be for the future, though. So again, I'm left with options. While I may not have a pre-made Ethernet cable that is long enough, but I could buy one, I also have the option of making my own cable. Never really did have too much success with that. I can't see to do it because I'm old. And even with the headset, it gets dicey. Maybe that would be the way. I'll have to see what'll fit through there and that. And I guess one day I'll have to replace that coax wire. But no big. It's there. That should be fairly simple. There is some room there, but I don't think an Ethernet plug would fit through there. So I'm kind of at a standstill right now with that. But the options are open and available. As it stands right now, we are in the dog days of summer. We're running out of time here. We're middle of August and things are going to start winding down. So I think at this point the best thing to do is put everything back as it were. And of course, don't worry about that. I'll take care of that. And we'll leave it there and I'll just live with it for the rest of the summer. And then over the winter time, we should probably get a decent day somewhere sometime. And maybe I can work on running an Ethernet wire out here and then we can try to reconfigure this thing again and make it work. It's again not a real ideal solution, but by the same token, if I look on the phone here and just get a site survey, I have absolute full Wi-Fi from the kitchen out here, and I have 1 bar less on the 5G out here. Most times, if anybody's over and they're going to be using their phone, it's probably going to be in here because you have the shade rather than being out, you know, just in the middle of the backyard somewhere. So I think that's kind of fair enough. Like, you know, it would have been nice to have this as, oh, well, you could just connect to the backyard one because you're in the backyard, but I don't need shit perfect like that. I also have a star projector thing over here, and that just refuses to connect. I gotta reconnect through the app and all that crazy shit one day. So after this project is done, I'll try to revamp that as well, and hopefully that'll work. But yes, Network Not Work is going to stay Network Not Work. until the day. I don't know when that day is coming yet, but one day it will, and of course I will bring that to you, either already done or somewhere in the middle of the project, all pissed off. One of those two. That's going to wrap this one up. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.